Hello and welcome to Hyperplay. When AYANEO announced that they were going to be making a gaming phone, we were skeptical, and for good reason. But now they've released their teaser trailer for the dang thing, we actually think it might just warrant a place in the Hyperplay Pants Pocket. Let's get into it, because there is some competition in this area, what with the Mcon recently being released, the ABXYLute M4, and a couple of other devices which we'll get into. But having looked into it, the AYANEO Pocket Play could well find its niche as a one-stop shop for all those gamers who carry a phone in their pocket, i.e. all of us. So let's get into it. The AYANEO Pocket Play obviously borrows heavily from the much-loved and much-missed Sony Xperia Play, albeit with a number of important differences. As you can see, the screen will be much smaller on the Xperia, and it looks rather more ergonomic, we would say, than the AYANEO Pocket Play, thanks to those curved edges and the D-pad and the buttons being higher up on the device. But let's get into the AYANEO Pocket Play. But it has that little red dot, a beauty spot, on both this silver model and the black model. Very recessed D-pad and buttons. That can be fine. There will not be much room for travel on those face buttons, but there'll be plenty of room for travel when this is in your skyrocket. It's also got shoulder buttons as well, and those trackpads, these touchpads, these are going to be divisive. So no recessed analog sticks, and to be honest, having experienced the very slippery recessed analog sticks that you can hardly even get to on the Anbernic RG DS, maybe trackpads are okay. Steam Deck Bros will tell you trackpads have come a long way since the slippy, slidey rectangles of rage found on our Lenovo Idea ThinkPad, for instance. But the AYANEO Pocket Play is doing its damnedest to present a sleek, thin form factor. And very happily, if our eyes do not deceive us, we also spotted a SIM card holder and an SD card slot, at least one. All very pleasing. AYANEO Pocket Play, no Indiegogo for this one, thank goodness. However, it's going to launch on Kickstarter coming very soon. Here is the holding page on Kickstarter. And yes, the AYANEO Pocket Play for true gamers, or so they say. How much is this one going to cost? Anywhere in the region of $1,000 to $2,000, we would say. So we're going to get into looking at the competition for those who don't want to splurge quite this amount of money. With AYANEO, you never know quite what aftercare support you're going to get. Will there be software updates, security updates, and so on? Bear in mind that yes, you can buy Chinese phones and use them in the US, the UK, wherever, but you won't be getting easy access to Google Play. You'd have to get a third-party loading application for your Google Play. Well, a bit disappointing considering this is called the AYANEO Pocket Play, but that'll be one wrinkle to get past. There's the Sony Xperia again, and you can see the design cues that have been taken from there. What of the competition that's out there already? Well, the Mcon, of course, that you can slap on your phone, has been very well received. Here's Russ from Retro Game Core thoroughly enjoying his. Now, it does make the device a bit more bulky because you're adding this to the back of your phone, but with that extra bulk comes bonus ergonomics. So it is nice and easy to hold, access the D-pad and the buttons, and the left stick is even okay to get to as well, and the triggers. Fine device, fine controller. The main problem with the Mcon is its price. If you didn't snaffle the super early birds when the Mcon did the crowdfunding rounds, then you will now be looking at a hefty $150 before shipping to get your Mcon. But hey, Hyperplay man, if you're saying the AYANEO Pocket Play is going to be anywhere up to $2,000, then maybe this is a viable solution, and maybe it is. Or maybe you'd like to look at the ABXYLute M4, and here's Ryan Retro with his. Slap on your MagSafes, attach it to the back of your phone. Problem is, might be a bit off center, especially if you've got big camera bump outs at the back. That's not the only problem with the ABXYLute M4. It's a bit of a wonky donkey. Yes, it bears a passing resemblance to the LG Wing when set up like that. You can get the LG Wing, for instance, quite cheap at the moment with a Snapdragon 765. But surely the AYANEO Pocket Play will have a stronger, much stronger Snapdragon than all that. But there's your ABXYLute M4 wonky donkey. Not something we would advise. Of course, you can go for the Galileo G8, $50. Slap that on your phone. And we had a whale of a time doing this with our Samsung Galaxy S21 FE sporting a Snapdragon 888. Couple of drawbacks here. You're going to get those black borders because this phone, 20 by 9. We wait to see what the dimensions of the AYANEO Pocket Play will be, but I doubt it's going to be 16 by 9, so you'll get those black bars as well we would expect on the AYANEO offering. And of course, this is not an integrated system. You're going to have to carry that controller around and have a separate case for it or whatever. It also got quite hot even just playing chained echoes. And then of course we have the Anbernic RG Slide. Now this is a Sony Xperia Play in everything but the ability to actually use as a phone. So many people in the comments wanted this to have a SIM card slot, and if only it did. What a great solution that would have been, and maybe Anbernic can get round to putting out an RG Slide 2 with a SIM card slot. That would be glorious. This badger, very cheap at the moment, and we'll pop a link to AliExpress, a product page where you can pick up an RG Slide for super cheap. Plays loads of PS2 and GameCube with its T820 Unisoc chipset. Lovely 4.7-inch screen. You just can't use it as a phone, unfortunately. But we'll have discount codes, a go-go, us personalised deep discount codes if you wanted to pick up an RG Slide. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, enough of the RG Slide. What about this AYANEO Pocket Play? Do you think it has a place? We do, but we have concerns, and they are largely around AYANEO as a brand. We ordered our Conker Pocket Fit in October, no signs of it shipping, and the punters are furious. Lots of people asking for refunds from AYANEO because they are fed up with the Indiegogo campaign and how it has been handled. So who knows when your AYANEO Pocket Play, once you have backed it on Kickstarter, who knows when it will pitch up, maybe 2027. Would it be worth the wait? Depends on the chipset. If this has got a Snapdragon G3 Gen 3, for instance, like the initial run of Conker Pocket Fits, it could do very nicely indeed. What about the heat dissipation on the back? How will it go there with the thermals? Will it feature liquid cooling, like your RedMagic 11 Pro with its ABXYLute Gen 5? Doing a fine job here, as always, on Retro Tech Dad's video, and every video and YouTuber we've featured, we will fully link to them in the description, so please do check out their vids. Absolutely awesome what they've all been able to achieve, including RTD here with great Switch emulation, even on Snapdragon 8 processor, so the 8 Gen 5. But again, yeah, this is a gaming phone, and the RedMagic 11 Pro comes in at a very wallet-friendly £650, probably about the same in dollars, to be honest. So this is what AYANEO need to be tilting at price-wise, but if you know AYANEO, you know that they will be absolutely sky-high with their price, but hopefully they can surprise us. Actually, maybe we've been unfair because the Conker Pocket Fit did ship, well, will eventually ship for under $250. It would be really nice if AYANEO could pull another rabbit out the hat price-wise here with their AYANEO Pocket Play. Of course, the RedMagic 11 Pro doesn't have integrated controls. That is the big selling point here. Looks like they've done it nicely. A lot will depend on those trackpads, and also we're not entirely convinced about the position of the face buttons and the D-pad. They look quite low. I think our thumbs would get a bit cramped. Looks like you'd have to claw your thumbs to access the D-pad and those buttons. But what do you think? Could you see this nestling in your hand quite happily? Are you happy with those thumb pads? Because presumably this isn't going to be a retro gaming device. This should be able to play a good swathe of modern platforms, and you'll need to use the equivalent of joysticks. So a lot will depend on the quality of those smart dual mode touchpads. Will you be picking this badger up? And please, while you're at it, do drop us a like and consider subscribing to us so we can keep you up to date on all the breaking news about the greatest and latest tech coming out of China and elsewhere. Will you be playing with this one in your pocket? Let us know. Many thanks for watching, take care, and happy handheld gaming. Bye bye.